Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. They mean the world to me. They help to keep the channel going. If anybody's interested in subscribing to my Patreon channel, you can go over to patreon.com and look up Engelgeist and choose a subscription level. Over there you get the daily forecast a day early, and you also can get other readings depending on the charmings and things like that, depending on the subscription level that you choose. Okay, so that's available to you if you're interested. If you're interested in a private reading, you can certainly contact me at the Facebook business page, and I can answer any questions you may have there. Those are easily booked. You can also buy them as holiday gifts for friends if you'd like, since we're in the holiday season. That's always available to you too. And this is the daily forecast for the greater collective, therefore it's a broad spectrum reading for a bunch of people, whoever may see it, whenever they may see it. So it is originally set for Friday the 27th of November, but it's also a timeless message in the sense that the Spirit is showing you this message. If your guides or inspirers, your higher self has brought this message to you on a date that's other than November 27th, that's completely fine. It may be time for you to see this video on a different day. So please feel free to continue to watch it. You might still have information or some sort of resonance with this video at the time that you see it. If it doesn't make sense for any reason, that's completely fine too. Do not worry. It doesn't mean that anything's wrong. It just might mean that you might be working on something different at this time. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, and if you if you watch this video and you do apply it to your life and you choose to make, decisions in your personal life after having watched this video, those decisions are your own responsibility. So please, trust your own intuition, your own intelligence, your own, what you know to be right first and foremost over anything I say. I should also include, and I think that you guys know this, but these readings are never intended to replace the information, advice, or instruction of any sort of professional, medical, legal, or otherwise, anything like that. Don't ever, put any of that ahead of, put any of this ahead of any advice from professionals. Okay, does that make sense? I think it does. So let's get into the forecast. So Friday the 27th, what cards do we need to see today? Oh, you know what? Okay, that's interesting. Hey, Page of Cups! Little buoyant little guy. He's a sweet deal to see today. Alright, so I was just thinking as I was shuffling the cards, I was thinking, today's the week, today's kind of the signifier for the week's end, the end of the week, right? We've got Friday and Saturday before we wrap up this week, and we have that Three of Swords energy underneath all of this. And I'm filming this a day early for Patreon and all of that, and I realized yesterday we had that Give Stone, which was for Thanksgiving. This will be like 2 days away when you see this, but I didn't realize when I was filming it that the Give Stone came up on Thanksgiving when the video would be broadcast the following day was Thanksgiving. So this morning, it's now Thanksgiving morning and I'm doing this. And I was just shuffling the cards just now and I was thinking about that that Three of Swords, and I was like, oh, heartbreak, nostalgia, the past a little bit, those are the things that the Three of Swords could represent for some of us. And, it being the holiday season, it makes sense why some of that might be dredged up for some of us, that emotionality, the mental thoughts, past pain, maybe strained relationships that we have. Those would be things that might come up for us at this time because we're kind of coursing our way through the holiday season, right? Through Thanksgiving. So when I see this, though, the Page of Cups to me is always a sweet little card, right? To me, all the three pages, the cups being the element of water and the emotions, he's kind of the most endearing, right? He's sort of the most, he can definitely be sort of like a little declaration of love. There's a sweetness to the Page of Cups. And I love that there's sort of also magic to the Page of Cups. Like pages always, in my mind, represent sort of youth, right? And exuberance, enthusiasm, optimism, they tend to be bringers of messages, right? But they can also be sort of that opportunity to learn about something. And so when I see this with that Three of Swords underneath it, which the Three of Swords is kind of a little bit of a struggle bus card, right? It doesn't have to be, but it is, right? It can be. This Page of Cups to me speaks to the idea that there is some optimism today, even if we are kind of rolling through our day, maybe reflecting back at times on, you know, maybe relationships that didn't go well, or maybe reflecting back on the year, the experiences that we've had during the year, the sadnesses, the upsets, the anger, whatever. The page, though, to me feels like he's learning something, right? There's always that aspect of the page. And so when I look at this, I think these are more waves back here, but we have these waves in a tub. So to me, it feels like the emotions might be tumultuous at times, right? But they're contained to a degree in this tub. I love a good clawfoot tub, by the way. Thank you for putting that in there, MJ. And I love that in these emotions, right? This is what I'm drawing out of the art of this card. In the clarity, because there's clarity going on here with the sun, right? I love this light above. We have this light around the golden cup. We're learning something about ourselves emotionally. We're learning something also about ourselves mentally with that Three of Swords energy underneath. The page tells us it's okay to deal with our emotions. It's okay to feel our emotions. It's okay to learn and be educated by our emotions. It's okay to have the emotions that we may have, right? And at times they might feel rough. We might be aggravated, upset, scared, whatever. But I love that he's sort of teetering on the edge of the tub, mastering all of this, or I want to say like controlling it, or keeping the environment sort of in the tub, the rolling of the waves, and it's producing this beautiful golden chalice with this giant fish from it, right? And so when I look at that, to me, this represents almost like a nourishment, or a we are, through the adversity of our emotional relationships, or our emotional feelings, as we explore them, as we feel them, as we understand them better and learn from them, they actually bring us gifts, right? And that's this sort of fish to me, right? It's almost like a sustenance, or an awareness that will actually help us in quite a big way. So, for any of you that might be feeling a little bit stuck in a rut, that could be that Three of Swords energy underneath this. The Page of Cups comes about bringing a newness, an opportunity to shine through feeling our emotions, through allowing ourselves to be who we are, and our truth to shine too. That's also the light that's coming from behind that cup, right? There's a gift to be had in this, even if it may not always feel it, right? We can control, I don't want to say we want to control our emotions, but I kind of get this feeling from this tub is that we are contained, even though we might be roiling inside at times, right? So, feel your feelings, explore your emotions, allow them to sort of be open to them. So that's also the page energy, that optimism, that openness. Be open to them and allow them to kind of educate you in a way, so that you can kind of free yourself from whatever that sadness is, that despair, that nostalgia that might be lingering in our minds in that Three of Swords. Does that make sense? And this is going to be something that's going to sit with us maybe for the next day or two. But I like the optimism of this Page of Cups. It feels to me like we're not letting it get to us. Okay, beautiful. So let's look at the Empathic Oracle card. So this is the Empathic Oracle card. This is a new card to us. This is Open Heart, number 35, which boils down numerically to a 8, which would be about balance to me. Bringing things back into balance, sort of bringing things back into sync. And I love this because, again, we have this rain, thunderclouds. We have some emotion. We have some emotional stuff happening over here, but we also have the sun, the rainbow, sort of, the different seasons or the changes that we go through. These vines to me represent sort of growth, right? We have to go through a couple of storms to grow, and as we go through those storms provide the water or the nourishment to kind of grow these vines. Does that make sense? And so that's sort of also, these vines kind of correlate to this fish, as if there's a gift from what's going on within us emotionally that we can learn from today. Keeping this open heart idea, operating from our heart and our mind, and this is also the heart above this person's crown chakra. To me, it's about sort of understanding that not everything needs to be perfect all the time, not with us or with anyone else, right? It never is going to be. To me, I've always said this, perfect is a trap. Perfect doesn't really exist. There's nothing in this universe that is static and stays, the same forever. Everything goes through some sort of, metamorphosis, change, evolution. It's just kind of a natural law. It's sort of the process that death brings about too, that we all have to face. Everything sort of dies at some point in time. It never stays the same. And that's okay. That's the beauty of all of this. And that's sort of the evolution. So when I look at these vines, they sort of remind me of, we grow, we become more beautiful, we become more hardy, we become more, aware even through the storms that we suffer or the experiences that we go through, the good times and the bad, because we have sort of good here, bad here. There is sort of this magic in the rainbow too, which is also the magic that is. The Page of Cups is always a story about, like, I believe in the Crow Tarot too, it's about a crow finding, or this cat finding a fish that it can sort of talk to. And we're not really alone either in all of that. And what I mean by that is, although this to me feels like very much personally focused work, it's like our higher self is with us at all times. And this is about exploring that relationship with the higher self through our emotions. Keeping an open mind and an open heart today as we move through the day. Let's see what the grounding stone is. Okay. Perfect Page of Cups, grounding stone. This is dream. So to me, I think that with this open heart energy, and remember that stone, the grounding stone for the week, is about what are we creating, right? What are we seeking? What are we creating? So for those of you that might be having a little bit of, that Three of Swords energy, where we might be going back and reflecting on past pain or past relationships that maybe we've been hurt, or we haven't done the right thing, or we wish we had done it different. It's that sort of thing. This Page of Cups allows us to sort of sit with that information emotionally, open our heart to it, and dream about a better way. Dream about something like this. Dream stone to me feels like, when we dream, we open the doors to possibility. When we dream, we open, and that's also the emotional aspect to this. When we dream, when we think about, what if this could happen? What if I could make this happen? And sort of dwell in that possibility. From this space of an open heart, there's a really powerful energy that's happening here. There's an opportunity to sort of, again, going back to the week's grounding stone, it creates something really magical. So stay with that. This also mirrors a little bit of yesterday's Wheel of Fortune energy in the sense that it says to me, kind of like the door is open, what do we want to do with it, right? How do we want the dream to look? How do we want to manifest the dream? The open heart energy and this Page of Cups energy says, like, feel it. Feel it, mold it, create this beautiful cup with this abundant fish, with this sort of light and clarity, this brightness. It can come to you. Like, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this. I'm sorry if I'm not making a whole lot of sense, but I really feel like there's a lot of potential in these three components today. All right, so let's go to my Page of Cups and we'll read this. Page of Cups, the cat's name is Mary. The symbolism is the sun is feeling touched by warm gestures, feeling comforted by a warm interaction or situation. The tub is a place of imagination and comfort for the young and old. The fish is the unexpected, something you perceived as something but turns out to be different. The message, in the bathroom, the young cat allowed its creative mind to play and expand. That idea of dream, guys. The walls opened up, the floor turned to sand, and rising up out of the tub was a cup holding a fish that spoke. The Page of Cups brings a youthful, childlike energy to your situation. When you open your heart, open heart card, guys, to the possibility of the unknown and perhaps a little fantasy, your higher self will send inspiration and ideas. In these visions, there are signals and messages. Pay attention to your intuition at this time. The Page of Cups brings the message to release from feelings tied to cynicism and allow love and intimacy to open your heart, because doing so may unlock an opportunity to connect with someone who may hold the solutions for current obstacles. The Page of Cups may also indicate a new romance is beginning to emerge. Can you feel a tug in your heart when in the company of someone who you really never thought too seriously of in the past? The positive energy attributes are open-hearted, creative, youthful, able to share and be intimate with others. The negative is immature, childish, falls into love a little too easily. Alright, so I can associate, I can totally relate with the Page of Cups. I love that card. It's such a sweet card. Alright, so we're going to, what was it, 35? Open heart. There are those who create and those who destroy. Each needs the other to exist, but those who feel the wisdom of trust need only their open hearts to exist. As an empath, you sense deeply when others' hearts are open in your own body. At times, you internalize this energetic experience and your own heart can close. This begins the lesson of the duality of love. As an empath, your depth of understanding begins to teach you at every turn that the experience of an open heart to yourself teaches the closed hearts of others. The light of love is truly the only choice. Unconditional love is the gift of an open heart. In this situation, are there attachments or obligations that are hand in hand with the love that is being given or received? So again, I love this because it speaks to, I feel like these cards are very much connected. This is about keeping that youthful optimism, being aware and remembering to dream today, and allowing ourselves to have that dream and really mold it or work with it today, taking advantage of it and kind of playing with the energy. I also feel like for those of you that might be in a very optimistic mood, which is great if you are, you should be, these cards speak to that. Whatever we're working on right now, I think we could be releasing things from the past. That could be that Three of Swords underneath all of this, right? We're sort of pulling those daggers out of the heart that we saw in the Three of Swords from Sunday's reading. And for those of you that might be going in and out of being stuck in that Three of Swords energy, like feeling it very present in our space, don't worry, just continue to dream, continue to remain open, and it will sort of shift and change. There's hope here in this reading today. All right, you guys, that is your forecast for the day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit the thumbs up button if you feel so inclined and hit subscribe. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.